Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here. So, we made this nifty little list of things that we need to do, and we're gonna just sort of zoom in here and see if we can read this. Let's start off with looking at getting the size consistent. Let's see, we have our lean out this way. The waist comes in to the stage left, while the top leans out towards the stage right, which I think is fine, because the alternative is, of course, I grab this whole thing and shift them over like that. Maybe just like that, just a halfway. So what I've set up here was we start here at neutral, and then if you look at the arm, we go from this point to this point, which is a downward motion, and then from this point to this point, which gives us a full swoop up, which is good, because then, as we can see from the onion skin here, we need to justify that the shoulder comes around to here, which is a lot easier to do when we have the hand going down first, instead of going straight out like it was before, and then turning. So that takes care of that, and size-wise, which is, the whole reason why we were here in the first place, these two are the same size, so we should be in a good spot there. That looks to be about right. That looks to be about right. Right, so this is where we had redone the sack jumping to the stage right, where he comes down, and then goes up, back this way, and over this way. The thing is, when I do my in-betweens at the moment, I might accidentally go straight from here, and then from here up to here, making this V, instead of coming down, around, and then back over. So I'm going to make a note for myself by leaving this arrow right here, that's what I want to do with that motion. And that size is fine. That size is fine. And now we're just repeating. And the arrow stays because I copied the frames. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, this is where I needed to do my sizing. Right, and then that's going to swivel up right to this point, which is good. Alright! Now that we have all this properly resized, let's turn off our onion skins, go back to the beginning, and just see what this looks like. Okay, it looks like right about here. It looks like he gets smaller. Which is which frame? Stop it! Okay, it does still get a little bit smaller, but I don't think... Oh! He's not on the ground. Tisk tisk. Why didn't you guys tell me about this? This is the kind of stuff I rely on my viewers to catch me on. Okay, final run. It does look like it gets a little bit thinner. I'll have to keep in mind getting the width of the flour sack and keeping that the same when I do my next one. I have like 3 or 4 different flour sack exercises to do, so a lot of this I'm just going to take as lessons from that I'm learning from the first one and then move it on to the second one instead of redrawing the first one. Like, I don't gain anything by making this one as absolutely perfect as I possibly could, because I still have to do this. First of all, in between this so many times, but then I have to do this exercise 2 or 3 more times, so I'd rather just keep that in mind, move on to the next one. Alright. What's next on my reminder list? Timing charts! Great! Okay, so with the timing charts, the first thing that I need to do is actually get my spacing for each of these frames first, and the timing charts are what I use to structure out my ease-ins and ease-outs for my in-betweening here. Well, I want them to be, well, let's have standing be as long, let's have the standing position be the same length as the ending position, and then if I have one in between for each of these. So we have a drawing to get to here, a drawing to get to here. That's a really large movement, so let's make it 3 drawings to get to here. That way we can have 1 favored towards this side, 1 favored towards this side, and 1 in the middle. 1 to get to here, then 3 to get to here, 1 to get to here. This is the middle one, so I need 1 on here which is favored towards this direction, and this is going to be favored towards this direction, and then we will repeat that. Now let me just go cut those all up into their respective frames. Oh, actually, I don't want to cut them up until I've done my timing charts, right? So, speaking of which, I do my timing charts now. Let's make a timing layer and get this party started. So the first motion starts on 14 to 17. And in between those, it's going to be 15, 16 range, which is just going to be one nice in between. Then, from here, we have 18 to 21, and 19 will be there. Oh, and I almost forgot the fun part. There we go. That way we know it's a nice half. Because I am going to have favoring, so I am going to have to do these arcs to remember that. Then, 22 to 29. Okay, so 23 is going to be favored towards 22. 25 is going to be here. Oh, you come home. You 27 are going to be favoring towards 29. So this is going to be a nice half, and that's a favor there, and that's a favor there. I think this will be our first, if not second time ever doing favoring. Cool. Then we move on to frame 30, which goes to 33, and should cut right in the middle there at 32. Well, 31, 32, again, they're the same. Let's do 32 first, since I said it first. Cut that even. Then we have favoring the other direction, which starts us off on 34, ends on 41, and splits around first on 37. Well, no, we have to do the half first. We can just start skipping around. You do half, then half, and half, and half, and half. You know, you do the frame between, then the frame between those, and the frame between those. So, 37 is our halfway point. And now we do 35 as our first favor, and 39 as our second favor. Now from here, we are on the frame 42, 43, 1, 2, 3. No, that's 3. 42, which goes to 45, with a very convenient little 43 between them. That bounce is nice. Swirl for flare. And coming to the end of our cycle here, we start on 46, end on 49, and splice in the middle on 47. And finally, 50, which goes over to 53. That's a 6. That is not how math works. On the slightest. 53, and that cuts in on 51. And that puts us at a nice even half. And that is the timing for our cycle. We can see what it looks like with the timing charts. Cool. Next up is the details. So now I'm going up and I'm cleaning all of these to make it look more sacky. Get a little bit of music going. Hit that jukebox, DJ, because we are about to go into a time lapse. Hit it! Now I'm thinking about whether or not I want to take this looping folding bottom that I have and bringing that over to the top here. I think I have that going on in other frames, so I'm going to try that out, just so that way I can keep the rollingness of this all. Now here I think I'm just going to have one little tick there. You know what? I'm actually going to keep that. I like the smooth line here really giving that stretch, that the flour sack is stretching and pulling the seams over this way. way over here. Oh, this one's all choppied up and weird. Which overlap looks better here? There's that. Or that. I think that adds a bit of variety, so we'll go with that. Plus, it looks like this leg is a little bit further towards the back, while this one is a bit more forward, because a little overlap right there, and down there being in front of the leg makes it look like he's jumping forward into the shot. Oh, you know, now that I think about it, I actually want these scrunches to be larger, like, because his body is coming in and scrunching this way. Even the frames that work out. Okay, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. That section shouldn't be entirely blank, but I can deal with that later. Alright, my frames are all clean. Let's do the in-between. Yeah, I feel like I'm losing so much time on my strokes just because I'm making them too thick. Definitely going to want to change that. I can clean that up later. Yeah, I gotta remember, I can do cleanup later. Oh, interesting. See? These are the types of things that are weird. I didn't bother to pay attention to where this foot was. There we go. And I should really have like a TV show or something going on in the background while I'm doing this. I don't know if there's really a proper order to do your lines when you're in-betweening. I guess I haven't really found a good guide that talks about that, so I'm just sort of eyeballing it and hoping for the best. Amazing how often I end up doing that. Beautiful. Okay, now I can't do my favoring until I do the halfway point frame. So that is this one. Oh man, this might as well just be its own entirely separate keyframe. Alright, my hand needs a break. Alright, so now that I'm taking its time to come back, I'm realizing that this in between here is honestly just going to be its own entire new drawing. So I'm not even going to bother having my onion skins on. I'm just going to make it the way that I imagined it and go from there. And for planning it, I think based off of this, it looks like this is going to be the flower sock in midair, jumping with the arms coming up here and flowing over this way. Alright, and then when we're doing this leap over in this direction, we want to have this leg be forward, so we want this leg here to be behind. Great! Now before I go and make the in-betweens that are on either side of this, I want to go in and make the jumping for the other direction, you know, before I get tired. You know, I got my creative juices going right now, so I want to get this one. It's a nice thing about in-betweens, you don't have to think about it. Got lost in thought for a second there. Starting this at 7 o'clock is not the most optimal idea. Weird, this was so much easier on the other side. Maybe I'm just not seeing it in my head like I was. Or maybe I'm just tired. Sometimes it's just that. Yep, I am just really tired. I'm going to do this tomorrow. I'm just going to go back and do some in-betweens. Just because I'm tired and I can't get one thing done doesn't mean that I can't recognize it and move on to get something else done. I'm going to do easy in-betweens. Now, one little tidbit of advice that I got was that when you're doing your inking, apparently that's another term for this, when you're doing your inking, sometimes it's okay if you just, swoosh to get the line that you like I did here, and then if it overshoots, instead of deleting the line and then going and trying to draw it over again, you can keep the line that you like and then go back and make it pretty afterwards. That way, you still get the line, nobody knows the difference, and it looks pretty. Oh, you know what I could do after this? I can do the timing for the tassel jump. I never did that, I just realized. I should probably knock that out. That's something that I can do even though I'm tired. Alright, now let's get the timing down for this section over here, and then I think I'm going to call it for a day. So I definitely know that I want to hold this position. So let's hold this for... I'll just do 8 frames. Why not? Great. The doink needs to be happening 2 frames at a time. I can't afford to have that go by any slower because the suddenness of it is what makes it funny, or at least cute. It has to be doink! Can't be doink, So that's that, that's that, that's that. Then here we have another pause. Let me just do another 8 before he starts his jump. Oh, this is 10. Yeah, that one is 10. There we go. I wonder if this being really sudden, or if I want to have a frame there. Oh, that being really sudden I actually really like. Yep, I just want frames in between for the tassels. So the body itself is going to stay, but the tassels are going to have I think it's here. Yeah, I'm gonna add an extra frame right here. And I'm not gonna make a time chart for this. I'm just gonna erase these and do the work right now. Alright, only 2 more of these I have to clean up, and then I'm gonna be good for today. Fantastic! Whack! Sorry, I sort of lost it there for a second. Don't edit at 3 a.m., kids. Shit gets weird. Speaking of weird, can you believe that this marks the 20th video on the channel? It's crazy! So thanks to all my friends and family for helping keep me motivated as I crawl my way through the miasma of YouTube. And thanks to you all for taking some time out of your day to hang out. Also this week, I'm honoring Soundstripe for all of their wonderful music. And with that said, I'll see you all next week. Have fun out there!